Welcome to another edition of Inside Titan Sports. I'm Jeff Radcliffe, your host, and for the next half hour, we'll get you caught up on all things Titans athletics. Today on the docket, we will check in with the men's basketball program, who they are off to an undefeated 2-0 start. And of course, men's and women's soccer about to enter the postseason and both on quite a run. But we will start with the #1 team in the nation, and that is the Eastern Florida State College Titans, who just capped off a 13-0 undefeated regular season, first in school history. Jeff Carr, the head coach, and Haley Cook, the sophomore out of Satellite Beach. Congratulations. That was one of the goals, and you guys achieved it.
Yes, thanks, Jeff. Yeah, one step closer to where we want to be, hopefully November 16th, playing at home.
One of the goals, right?
One of the goals.
What does it mean to be part of the first team in school history to go unbeaten?
It's really cool for us. It's an honor to be able to be on the team and to be able to play with who we play with and be coached by Coach Carr and Coach Josh.
Well, it was Broward again, right? The third time you would normally say a third time's a charm, but it was basically a third straight, let's say, blowout. That's not really very flattering to them, but in all intents and purposes, that really what it was.
Well, yeah, the final score was 8-1. The two Spanish girls had 7 of the 8 goals. We only gave up 1 goal on kind of a sloppy mistake in the first half, but then we kind of settled down. It was 3-1 at that time, and by the end it was 8-1, and we were buzzing. We were playing very well.
What's it like? I mean, I know we've asked every one of your teammates this season. You're bossing games regularly. How do you guys keep focused when you're in this kind of situation to kind of keep going forward and play the way Coach wants you to play?
We know that we have to work on playing our game and not go down to the level that we're playing. And we have to focus on, there's certain things like we focus on pressing during the game. If we're up by a lot, we focus on pressing and possession and keeping the ball.
Well, it's been a really flattering season for you guys so far, and now ahead you got to make a trip to Mississippi. It doesn't seem fair that you can't play at home, but you get by them, you are coming right back home. So what lies ahead here against Pearl River here on Saturday?
Yeah, Pearl River, they're 14-1. They won the state championship for Mississippi. They play a 4-4-2. They have a couple Division I transfers that played at Southern Mississippi last year. Okay. Very skillful. Play very, very hard. Jack Bird, their coach, has done a great job with them. I think they've won 3 out of the last 4 state championships for Pearl River. And we've played them several times now in the last 3 or 4 years to try to get to the national tournament. So, yeah, exciting, but, we got to take care of business there. One and done if you don't take care of business. So then, all the hard work and undefeated season and getting the #1 seed, is all for naught if we don't take care of business there. So it's going to be on a turf high school field, 80%, 90% chance of rain. So, but it's a newer field, so we're thankful for that. But yeah, a lot resting on Saturday.
As a defender, I'm sure you don't like playing on turf because there's a lot of things that can bounce the wrong way on you. You take the wrong angle sometimes. Is that going to be a big challenge for you?
Hopefully it won't be too much of a challenge, especially coming off of playing Broward with the turf field, but the ball does move faster, especially if the field's wet, so we just have to adjust.
Being a coach, you're always seeing things through a different prism than the rest of us, but is there any point during the season when you're seeing these goals being scored? You had one game where you had 13 goals scored, and seeing what Paula and Julia are doing up front for you guys and scoring massive number of goals. You mentioned the 7 this past week. Do you ever have a mouth wide open moment like, man, I can't believe I'm coaching this team?
Well, yeah, I mean, we have so many attacking options this year. I mean, besides those 2, you have Bunny. She has 8 goals in 6 games she's only played in, and Camargo twins have scored 8 and 9 goals each, and one of them has 21 assists, and the other one has 18 assists. So there's lots of attacking options, the most I've ever had in any team I've coached on any level. So that's really exciting. Julia is, the top 5 for shots taken in a game. 3 of the top 7 in the country for assists are 3 of our players. Paula's in the top 5 for scoring with points, goals, and assists. So yeah, it's unbelievable. And there's other players there too that have. Nicole stepped up and is playing really great lately, and we have other attacking options as well. So yeah, it is amazing the quality of the players we have and just their attacking mentality that I've never had before. This is like a Christmas present.
Yeah. Haley, this is normally a question you'll pose to a goalkeeper who doesn't see a lot of action, but you really, on the back line, you guys really don't get a lot of action. And what's it like watching things play in front and how on top of things do you have to stay? I mean, you've got to really kind of be locked in because you drift for 1 second, and that's when a goal gets given up.
Mm-hmm. We have to stay alert always, because if we lose the ball, and most of the times they kick it far back to us, and we have to win it and play it right back. But lately we've been playing a lot through our back line, and even with Steph and Izzy, so we have to stay alert and always be ready for something.
So now 4 straight in conference, and you're actually 5th straight regular season champs now. That never gets old. But do you feel you're prepared now with what you had to play in Region 8 now going forward?
Well, I think that plus our preseason, we played a lot of NCAA Division II schools. We actually had 3 games against Kaiser, top 3 in the country, NAIA. So I think that's helped us as much as our region has to get us to where we are now. So that preseason actually helped us probably more than anything.
Sure. You're unbeaten, but now you take a loss earlier in the season, you can rebound from that and still achieve some of the goals you guys set for yourself. But now you lose now, there's a little pressure on here. And do you guys feel any of that?
We feel, yeah, I think some of the girls are starting to get nervous, but it's also a lot of excitement for everything that's going to come. But we know that now it's do or die, like we have to win, so.
Yeah, and the prospect, though, of playing home for the national tournament, which is hosted here just in a couple of weeks, that's when you have to keep an eye on the prize, that is the prize. And how excited does that make you for that opportunity here to be in front of the home fans?
Well, absolutely, and we have a nucleus that still has that sting of losing on PKs in the national semifinals last year to Monroe. So that nucleus is back with some added pieces that have definitely improved us as a team. But yeah, our focus is this Saturday, but with the hope of coming back to play at home on November 16th.
Haley, we've mentioned before on your appearance here, you're from right down the road from Satellite Beach, played for the Scorpions at Satellite High. Big news yesterday, the Orlando Pride, the new NWSL team, announcing one of their new players, Ashlyn Harris, a former Satellite Scorpion. And I know she came a long time before you, but I'm sure there's a relationship there, and that's something that makes you really, really proud that a U.S. national team keeper comes from your school. Yeah,
it's cool because when I was younger, I would go watch her play at Satellite, and now to see her doing the cool things and going far is really cool for her.
Yeah, and it's something really, I mean, you always talk about the men's professional ranks, but now to have the NWSL here in Florida and Orlando, it gives a chance for some of your players to have something to aspire to now.
Absolutely. I mean, it's just fantastic what Orlando City has done in a short period of time with the professional women's team and the new USL team coming to us. Unbelievable, and yeah, just another opportunity for these females to play at the next level.
Jeff Carr, Haley Cook, good luck this week in Mississippi. Hope to see you back here next week getting set for the national tournament here on campus. When we come back, we'll shift the focus from the women's soccer program to the men's as they wrapped up a conference championship once again. We'll talk about that with Oliver Twelvetrees and a special guest when we come back.
Eastern Florida State College. This is where you discover new opportunities, where you pursue your dreams, and careers take flight. Apply now for new bachelor and associate degree programs in business, healthcare, computer technology, and other growing fields. Eastern Florida, where Titans rise. Apply today.
Welcome back to Inside Titans Sports. I'm Jeff Radcliffe. We now turn our attention to the men's soccer program, which just capped off its 3rd straight Region 8 championship. Head coach Oliver Twelvetrees and the pride of Melbourne High, Micah Smoke. Congratulations, guys. A goal achieved.
Certainly, it was not easy. There's some very good teams in our region. Broward have improved a lot, and we had 3 really tough games against Broward, and the last one, the scoreline might not show as a 4-2 win, but it was probably the closest and probably the best they've played throughout the series, and it was we were just happy to get across to the finish line and get the win.
Micah had really the clinching goal. It was one I think people are going to be talking about a while. You have this penchant for hitting these long balls in that find the back of the net. I mean, do you know what's happening? It was from about 30 yards out, and it made the final scoreline 4-2 and kind of iced it. What's going through your mind when you're dribbling up? Because you played multiple spots during this game. You had to make some shift because of some things. But what's it like to score a goal like that?
I've done it for my whole life. When I see some space, I like to hit the shot, and happy it went in.
Did you see that coming?
You know what, when he pushed into midfield, that's why we pushed him in next. We know he's got that goal threat, and he certainly wants to shoot. I think he had 5 shots on the game, and
sure.
The way he can make the ball move in the air, I think is what caught the goalkeeper off guard. You can see on the replay the ball did move, and the goalkeeper was going one way, and he couldn't quite stop it. So he's got that ability to do, and that's why he scored a lot of goals in his career.
The game was televised on WEFSC TV. You can go back and watch that from the school's website. There's certainly a lot of exciting moments in there. And what's it like for you to basically, I think we call you Mr. Versatility. You started there at central defense and a 3-back setup, and then all of a sudden you're pushing forward and scoring the clinching goal that really iced the game. What's it like to be a Mr. Versatility, if you will?
Well, I like to help the team any way possible, but definitely enjoy it more in the midfield going forward and hitting long-range shots and maybe assisting people. But getting the back line, maybe holding down the defense, it's fun back there. There's no,
sure.
It's secure.
There's the terminology is square pegs and round holes, but you really have a lot of square pegs that can fit in multiple places. You have a lot of square holes in the team, and that's been advantageous.
We've got a lot of good footballers. We've got a really good bunch of boys that can play the game, and if you're a good player, you can really play anywhere on the park. And obviously, Micah's physical attributes make him able to play multiple positions, especially as he's so dominant physically. He can lock down their best attacking players as a centre back, or if we need some more attacking play, then obviously he can provide that goal threat as well.
12-1-2. Assess the season. Did you guys play to your potential at this point? I mean, you got the first goal. Now you make it to the region tournament, and hopefully the eyes, as we mentioned, on the prize for the national tournament. Is it played out the way you guys expected with just the one loss?
Well, the 2 ties also in there. I don't like those.
Oh, no.
We tied one early in the season. I missed the penalty last minute, which was very unfortunate. And then we tied once to ASA and lost once to them. And both those games we didn't play our best, and really unhappy with that. But other than that, it's all right.
But you got the revenge game against ASA and really kind of put them in their place at that point. I'm sure that was a big talking point that, hey, we need to put the goals away in that game, and that's really what sets you up to play Broward for the title.
Exactly, and really we've been in one-off cup finals for the last 3 games. Each game after we had to go play ASA for the 3rd time and then Broward for the 2nd and 3rd time. Those 3 games were all must-win games that we had to win to be able to go through, and so we're in a good situation in terms of the boys have experienced the pressure of must-win games. That's really going to help us, and overall, as Micah said, we dropped a couple of games that we shouldn't have, but again, feeling that disappointment, I think, spurred the boys on more to be successful and make sure we don't make any mistakes moving forward.
Must-win games continue now as we enter the postseason. You're going up to North Carolina, to Lewisburg, North Carolina, to take on Patrick Henry Community College, which I mean, the hardest part of this trip may be just the trip itself, but what do you expect here this weekend?
I expect a hard-fought game, and like Coach said, we have to win. If we don't win, we have to go home, and none of us want to do that.
Tell us about Patrick Henry, because they're going to be fighting for a chance to host the national tournament that they are going to be hosting, but they would like to play there just like the Eastern Florida State College women would like to do. So that's something you also will have to battle against a little bit, because they're going to certainly be interested in doing that.
They're definitely going to got extra motivation. There's no doubt about it. I said to the boys yesterday in practice, I said, look, imagine if you had to go and work the national tournament, ball boy at the tournament, help out, and you weren't playing at it. So, I think they understand that this Patrick Henry team is going to compete for every ball, every second ball, and it's going to be a battle just like every knockout game is. So the boys are going up there thinking we're going to have to play hard. We've broke things down a little bit this week in practice and gone back to basics and make sure we're defending from the front, and we're making it very, very difficult for Patrick Henry to play.
Is there a big challenge in making these long road trips? You've done a couple of them this year, or is that really kind of a bonding time? Is that a fun time for you guys to go through that?
I think it's more of a bonding time. Yeah, we come together as a team. We had done a couple quizzes on the bus with our assistant coach Barb's leading them. Yeah, I think it's more fun time for us to really get to know each other better.
Who wins the quizzes? I'm just curious, and what kind of questions are being posed?
You know, Micah struggled a little bit, to be honest.
Okay.
I'd be surprised. I was surprised at some of the boys. Ebra and Luke somehow get the most questions right, and I would not have put my money on those guys winning it. But
Yeah, you're a sophomore. You're playing for a scholarship at the next level, right? You guys have to. The sophomores have to take this thing. Is it a sophomore versus freshman thing?
no, we kind of break up into little groups. But you know, we're excited for the game. We're excited for the experience, and we know Patrick Henry is certainly going to provide a test. They got a very, very good forward, a number 10 that is going to cause us problems, left-footed, and the boys are going to have to certainly be on their toes to shut him down.
You get past them, your reward to make the national tournament is back into that area of the country. You go into the nether regions of the state of Virginia to play at the Patrick Henry College, as we just mentioned. Here's the chance. This is what you guys have been playing for all season.
Sure, you know, we got to win this game against Patrick Henry on Friday. If we win that, we actually play a district final against the winner of Lewisburg-Darton. And again, that will give us a chance to win some silverware, to win a district championship. And with not much on the line in terms of apart from the trophy, because both teams in that final game will make it to nationals. It should be a great game against Lewisburg, at the moment #1 team in the country. So the winner of that game could also be playing for the #1 seeding at the national tournament, which would be very big, which would, you know, both women and the men potentially could be #1 seeds going into national tournament, which would be a good achievement for Eastern Florida State College.
Mike, I asked Haley this. Is the pressure on you guys now? Are you kind of aware that there is no tomorrow, you can't bounce back anymore?
The pressure is definitely there, and I think we all know it, and I thrive by it. I think we all do. We really want to just take that pressure and go on to the next game and win these games we know we can win.
Looking back on the season, do you think it's good? You didn't have the same pathway that the women's team did, and they won a lot of games in lopsided score lines. You guys really had to fight and claw, and that could be to your advantage now.
No doubt about it, and you know, in the men's game, there's a lot of great footballers around the world, and you know, junior college soccer has got some great talent, some great teams, and every game's a battle. And the boys having to overcome a lot of adversity, coming back on multiple occasions, goals down, is certainly going to help us going into a tournament that we think we can win, and the district tournament, and then the national tournament. We know we've got the talent, and we know we've got the work rate and attitude, and we just have to put it right on the field and to win a national championship.
What does it take on the field? Is there anything you you and your teammates have to do to maybe improve on what you've done already this season now that you're in postseason mode?
I think we've really become more of a team every game, and just keep moving as a team and working hard for each other and for ourselves to do what we want to do and win the national title.
Micah Smoke, Oliver 12 Trees, congratulations on the championship again for the 3rd straight season, and good luck here now the postseason begins. It's the 2nd season, if you will, and good luck up in North Carolina.
Thanks, Jeff.
That is the men's soccer program as they look to reach new heights as they do every single year here at Eastern Florida State College. When we come back, we go inside and we talk about the men's basketball program. We'll have head coach Jeremy Schulman when we come back on Inside Titan Sports.
This is where we're building the future. This is where we meet the challenge, where leaders emerge and careers take flight. This is where you discover new opportunities. Choose to stand where excellence lives, where titans rise. Eastern Florida State College.
Welcome back to Inside Titan Sports. I'm Jeff Radcliffe. We now turn our attention to the basketball programs. First, an update on Jim Grimes' women's basketball program. And the Titans, set to open their season over the weekend, could not because for unforeseen circumstances, as ASA could not make the trip. So they will actually open their season on the road Friday against Santa Fe. Now we turn our attention to the men, the undefeated men's basketball program led by Jeremy Schulman, now 49 games unbeaten at home with 2 wins over the weekend in the Titans Halloween Classic. And it was USC Salkehatchie and then Atlanta Metro, and 2 very, very good wins to open the season. A win's always good, right?
A win is always good, especially this time of the year. You know, first off, Jeff, I appreciate you having me on the show. You know, we've got a young team. We've alluded to it before in some of our previous shows. Young team, and with so many newcomers getting to play against a team like USC Salkehatchie, who's predicted 2nd in their region behind Cape Fear, and Atlanta Metro is predicted 5th in their region, and always strong Georgia region. 2 very good teams, you know, to open up with, and I thought our young guys really came out and really performed.
how'd it feel to finally get out there after a long preseason to get these guys? I'm sure they were chomping at the bit to play somebody else.
Absolutely, and especially having a regular season game. You know, we've had a great and very, very strenuous preseason. You know, we went up to Tallahassee. We played two very good Division II schools, both on the road, but to open up the season at home in front of an unbelievable crowd at Titan Fieldhouse, it was just, the energy was electric out there, and our guys were jumping through the roof. A couple of them were a little bit nervous, but it was a great atmosphere to open up the season.
You and I in the break were talking a little bit just about the environment. It was electric there at the Titan Fieldhouse for a Halloween night against USC Salkehatchie.
It was. It was. You know, we've worked very hard to promote, and of course the school's just been unbelievable, and you know, through our marketing department and the website, and you know, for being a Halloween night on Friday and then a early start at 2 o'clock on a Halloween daytime, and we had great crowds, and it was loud, and it was raucous in there.
Talk about that game a little bit. A 94-77 victory as John Martin had 26 points to lead the way, and Georgie Baranya, one of the key returners, with 20. And you got contributions really across the board.
We did. John was unbelievable. I mean, John's just a shot maker. You know, he redshirted or sat out last year for us, and just improved and got stronger over the year and got to practice against our outstanding team last year. And so it was his first actual regular season game in quite a while since his senior year of high school, and came out and he just made shots. Of course, Georgie's Georgie. Just found a way. He just finds a way and ended up with 20 points and 5 boards.
You have to go and back that up with a win the very next day. There's challenges inherent in that against Atlanta Metro. That was an 88-76 final score. And then Joey Martin gets 20 points, the brother, both out of New Hampshire. And so it's just nice to have a kind of a 1-2 punch there. And then Kareem Bruton, also 18 points. Yeah.
John got hurt in the second game and had to go out. So our philosophy is next man up, and it happened to be his brother. And Joey came off the bench, and 14 of his 20 points were in the second half, and hit 4 threes and just played outstanding. And Kareem, both games, it played really well. He's actually leading us in scoring right now.
Sure, early season, it's certainly important to get a lot of contributions from many different people because you see what you have going forward, right?
For sure. And we've got a deep team, and we've got a lot of players that I know can step up and produce, and when their name is called. So if it's not one game, it might be that player the next game. So it was good to see a lot of guys step up.
And it was win number 120 for Jeremy Schulman. He says he didn't even know that actually happened. It's just a good thing. Keeps getting better here at Eastern Florida State College for your team.
It does. It keeps getting better because of Dr. Ritchie and Coach Carr. I mean, the administration here is unbelievable, and it makes it a great place to coach. And every year, you know, we just try to get the program a little bit stronger and recruit a little bit better, and add a few more things in offense and defense.
And you know the thing you got to concern yourself now is just the very beginning, and you got to go forward and you got to play the next one. You got a couple of games this week, a big one on television on WEFS on Friday night against Central Florida. Tell us about this team from Ocala that's going to be coming in here on Friday.
Oh, it's going to be what an early season matchup. I mean, I'm already chomping at the bits for it. It's going to be exciting. You know, they won the national championship in 2012-13. We actually lost them in the state championship game. We played them at their place last year and won in a very hard-fought battle that went down to the end. They're 2-0 right now in the season, just coming off a great win against St. Pete, who was nationally ranked last year. It's going to be a fun, exciting game, and the fact that we have it at home this early in the season, hope to have an unbelievable crowd. And for those that can't come, as you said, it's going to be on TV and it's going to be webcast, so it's pretty exciting.
And they've got some good players. They get Devon Jenkins, a guy out of Gainesville himself, so really close to where their campus is. A team that has a lot of upside, and it's going to be a big challenge for you guys.
Absolutely. Eddie Polanco's leading him in scoring and rebounding right now. A kid out of New York. He's a sophomore, so he's experienced, big, strong physical guard. Malik Dunbar is their second leading scorer and second leading rebounder, a 6'6" freshman from South Carolina. And then Devon Jenkins is a big-time shot blocker, 6'8", really athletic, can shoot from the outside as well. So got a lot of players and a lot of matchup problems, but it's going to be a fun game. It's going to be a fun game.
You guys win this game if what needs to happen that might not have been to your liking after those first 2 games?
If we score more points than them. No.
Okay. That always works.
We've got to get better on the boards. We dominated the boards last year. We were an unbelievable rebounding team last year, and we're second in the country going into the national tournament. And this year, that's a jump we've got to make. We've been pretty good offensively for being this early in the season. Defense, it will get better, but rebounding is the thing that we've got to get a lot better. And that Central Florida game is going to be a physical game on the boards. Got to get better.
what does it take here in the early season to keep this thing going? Past that, did your guys start looking past teams you're playing at this point in the season? And I'm sure that's not really a good thing.
Yeah, thank goodness they don't, because we've scheduled such a difficult schedule. We play Central Florida next week. We go out to Utah, and we're playing three outstanding West Coast teams, including the homestanding Snow College, who's really, really good, and they're 2-0 right now. Eastern Wyoming's 2-0 already right now in the season. So after that, we play South Georgia Tech and South Georgia State, who are also both undefeated right now. And South Georgia Tech just beat two really good Florida Panhandle schools. And then we got St. Pete for 2 games, who was nationally ranked last year. And then we have Gulf Coast, and we have a Polk State team. So there's never a break in our schedule, so nothing we can really look too much past.
Talking with Lynn last week, it's an opportunity, the Utah trip, and of course, in the holiday season, basketball teams tend to travel. This is a chance for the team really to come together. That's the time you gel, is when you make these long road trips.
Absolutely, really excited about that. We've never had a chance to fly on a tournament during the regular season, and to be able to fly, it's going to be a really exciting time for our guys. We try to, every bit of our program, we try to make it like a Division I school. And now the fact that we're traveling, via plane to go on a tournament all the way out in Utah, where the weather's going to be a little bit different than here in Florida. So it's going to be great for
altitude.
Bonnie. Yes, yeah. It's going to be challenging, but it's going to be very exciting.
All right, first things first, though. Got to beat Central Florida. That game coming your way Friday. Jeremy Schulman, head men's basketball coach at Eastern Florida. Good luck this weekend. It's going to be a huge game on Friday. Hope to see you there against Central Florida. That game tipping off at 7 o'clock live on WEFS TV. And that's all the time we have for this edition of Inside Titan Sports. We'd like to remind you to get the inside scoop on Titans athletics by visiting the school's website at www.easternflorida.edu/athletics, or better yet, tune in each and every week to Inside Titan Sports here on WEFS TV. Now, for all my guests, I'd like to say thank you to you for watching as well. I'm Jeff Radcliffe saying so long, and go Titans.